Howdy there, folks. Tex of the Black Pants Legion here again, and it's time to continue our very czarist playthrough. Next time around, I'm going to try Spain. I think that'll be fun. And then after Spain, I'll have to decide on who next, but I've got some ideas. Most of my knowledge of the Spanish Navy is Age of Sail related, so I'll have a few tidbits for you there, at least. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying these while we work on our much longer films in the background. Oh boy. So we are at war with America, and we are at war with Japan. Now the Japanese conflict has been going on a while. Our land forces are doing jack-doodly and shit. We're repairing many boats. We are building many more. And in 1 month, many more boats are going to be ready in Petropavlovsk, and then I will just dump my fleet upon them. They will see, or I will see. I mean, good God, the Americans have already been steaming in. I'm going to do what I can. This looks complex. I don't have the foresight of Jackie Fisher. I can't predict, where shit's going to go down and prepare for it. Even then, arguably, that didn't help him either, did it? All right, they're trying to negotiate it out from under me. One of the things I really need to do is I need to go after the enemy and just bully them as much as possible until my better ships come out. At that point, I can maybe negotiate or something. However, I have to watch my unrest because that thing just jumps up and down like a bad fuel float indicator. Those of you who remember the analog age of those have a big enough shitbox car and you turn real hard and you watch the fuel level go up and down. Because you have like a bathtub of gas in the back. Alright, light cruisers, which are really weird, and then my battleships, the Fat Leonards. So this is going to be really cool or really dumb. All the light cruisers are going to go in together and pelt them, because while these are just little cruisers, they're not all that great. They're not very seaworthy. They've already been in a few fights. They're interesting, well, at least to me, because they're like micro battleships. They've got 7-inch guns on a little light cruiser hull. I think that's exciting, if you'll excuse it, a little cute. Alright, now we're gonna go and stop ramming into each other. Hopefully. We'll see. The idea is I'm going to aggressively pelt them with HE while my battleships hold off and slay them with 13-inch rounds. That is my idea. And you guys should actually come in abreast. Alright, enemies spotted. The battleships are steaming away. I will now reduce speed from our massive 29 knots and take us down to 19 leisurely knots to assist with gunnery. The enemy is probably like, what in the fuck? And I'm like, I can hit you from here. That looks battleship shaped. Those are all hits on him. Wow. That's bad for him. Alright, the battle line is coming in. Yeah, that battleship's getting clapped. I made better battleship. I may make more. Pray I do not. Well, their battleship's sinking. And now they have to fight the not-a-light cruiser squadron. They don't launch torpedoes. They have their own casemate issues. Seems like they're working. I mean, these things have very small crews. But they seem to work real good. Because that heavy cruiser has almost 1,000 persons on it. My light cruiser has 157. Well, had. fewer now. These things are great bang for the buck. And if you're a little navy and you need something that looks like a big navy boat, I mean, that's pretty intimidating. You can call that a battleship. Your taxpayers don't need to know that it isn't. Oh man, look, they're doing maneuvers back there, looking fancy. Oh, right. My battleships are still in the fight. They're doing their thing. Alright, let's see if we can slam dunk this guy from a bajillion miles away. We're trying. And we got him. My God. Well, that's a clean sweep. Alright, let's see if we can't take some land from Japan. They're going to be mad. But I'm going to try to invade. I think we have a bit of the North Island. Maybe we could have a little bit of the South Island, you know? We can pincers Japan. And let our ground forces kill off a bunch of Russian nobles. Alright. Uh-oh. It's time for me to fight another fight. Except this fight, is in, well, it's in my backyard. Then again, both of these fights kind of are. It appears my modern battleships will fight not so modern battleships. And there's a weird smonk glitch just floating in midair. I don't like that. It's a comet. It's a ill portent. Alright, let's ready up. Let's blow them away. We get the speed. We can just close range and then leave. This is prime bullying. Oh boy. I seem to have his range, you know. Most dreadful. This other guy's laying down smoke. Don't worry, I'll help you make some. Reduce speed for gunnery's sake. There we go. Feels good. Dun 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 dun. I remember when that band Gorillaz was relatively new and it blew everyone's mind. But then I think also, if you look around in terms of what people are doing in terms of short form entertainment these days, you're like, oh, this is a cyberpunk dystopia. And not a fun one, you know? Just a good old dystopia. Alright, let's see what we got. There's a cruiser there, a battle cruiser there, American light cruiser squadron, battleship. Yeah, some of their shit's starting to actually make it. So that is a problem. In 1 month, a lot more of the light cruisers will be commissioned in Petropavlovsk. So that's good. That is very good. And I'm holding my own in the Pacific. So, but as I said that, another giant American fleet. So I'm doing my best to hold my own. I should have... Oh god, this army is still not going anywhere. Soon I'll get Petropavlovsk over here and I'll just start choking them out. Power projection at a certain point does work in your favor. And I'm just going to sit here and try not to fume. Spess boat. See, the Fat Leonard is tempting to make. It is a fun boat. But Space Boat has much firepower and speed. There are choices. Almost the same weight. You know, I'll just build one more Fat Leonard. Because I do have some Space Boats coming. And some whittle guy, you know, heavy cruisers. They're just a whittle guy, you know? And I'll have this one built at Busan. Oh yeah. So I've got my battleship sitting off America, and I'm just like daring him to do something. And then out will come even more light cruisers. And thus the war will turn in my favor, I think. My prestige is off the charts, my unrust is 0, but I know that I am 2 misclicks away, and dumb enough to lose this whole thing to 2 misclicks. Dead serious. You can get very incompetent very quickly. Just a little bit of malaise. Oh, I ought to resolve that for fun, and then dead. So I have $55 billion. Oh, no. A whole nother Navy fight? Oh, in my naval war game even? That's crazy. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go in there and sink their whole fleet, and then try to defend myself against the American fleet that shows up 10 minutes after that. And I hope it goes well. That's about all I've got. I hope it goes well. I think we'll be all right. Now, if I can eradicate their heavy movers, I'll just start blockading Japan until they absolutely accede to my demands. All right, time to put the gagglefuck into a big ol' unfortunate circle of very rusty boats. I've got my battle line here. It says they were spotted in the northeast. All right. And all you guys, your job is to go northeast at full speed, which is your modest 21 knots, roughly. No, 23 looks like. At least indicated. You know, these ships would have a lot of roughly and asterisks when it comes down to design. That is a ship built out of compromise and bad ideas. Alright, here we go. We are closing at enormous speed because the Fat Leonard is indeed fast. Oh my god, he's really not having a good day. I'd say it, but I don't think they're gonna win. Fat Leonard has led the way. But what if you made something crazy, Mr. Tex? Yes. Then, like the rest of his cruisers and some of his bigger boys, there's torpedoes. I know it's going back to the yard anyways. I accept a little attrition. Doesn't seem to be hurting it all that much. Well, now they have a choice. Get pelted with all the 7-inch known to man as Battlefleet Light Cruiser Asterisk citation needed comes in and pelts them all to death. Or the big boys back here with a 13-inch guns figure out what a hit point's worth. Yep, the peltoning has begun. He's like, no, my mans. And I'll be like, yes, indeed. Time to die. My patrol boat is working just fine. Excellent. Excellent. Patrol boat. I shall build more of these. They are not fast. They are not particularly long-ranged. They are durable enough and carry 7-inch guns. And 2-inch gun backup, so like, 40 mic more or less. But it's actually a naval shell, not a grenade, so it's moving a little faster, a little further. But yeah, is this a good ship? No. But will it win for now? Maybe. That's what I'm willing to bet. So we are managing to hold. Our fleet is holding, which is a miracle. Petropavlovsk, more patrol boat is ready. Hell yeah. All right, let's see. That's 66,000 tons of stuff. I'm going to move my other fleet over here, and we're just going to take South Hokkaido from Japan. Then we're going to go take Sasebo and Kyushu. And then, you know, we're just going to slowly gobble their country up. Because that's what you do when you're an imperial power. You just go over there and you're like, can I have some of that? And they're like, please don't. And you're like, I can't hear you. My country is hungry. Alright, so they have one cruiser there. They have, alright, you know what? I'm going to move my battleships right there and challenge them in the Aegean Sea. I'll be like, alright, let's do it. Come on, be a man. Alright, seems like most of America is fairly content to leave my boys alone. Even though my heavy cruisers will be there eventually, they are certainly a bit slow. We'll have some more cruisers though, which will be good. And I will build another Fat Leonard. Because I can. He will also be in Busan. That yard is going to be like, yay, Contra, fuck. Monthly balance, $641 million. My good lord. When you're young, and you look to the future, and you have that what-if game that we all play, and you said, what if I won the lottery? Consider what you would have said then versus what you'd say now. Because when you're a kid and you win the lottery, you start thinking about, oh man, I would buy the fastest cars and, you know, a baseball team or two that you're fond of, or you'd buy a pizza place so you and your friends could always have pizza, or something, you know, ridiculous that a young person would think. And I have that same sort of approach as an adult, where I'd say if I won the lottery, what would I have for myself? And I shared my responses with a friend of mine, and they said it was depressing. They said it sounded really depressing. And I said, well, I am perennially depressed. But here's my answer. I would like 10 or so acres of reasonable land. Nothing too fancy. Nice little stone wall and a gate. And I would like to live within that with a nice little log cabin. Maybe some trees on the property. And a lot of big sky to look at. And I said, you know, it doesn't have to be a cabin. It could be a Connex box. I'm not picky, really. Because see, when I was young, I was taught that like wealth is this huge thing that needs to be displayed. Because every person I saw that was well off had houses that were just huge. And I think back on those, where you'd see somebody who was well off and they would have a living room that was the size of like half your house. And it would have like giant overstuffed furniture in it that nobody really wants to sit on. And, you know, you get a room big enough and you end up getting like 2 or 3 couches to form a giant U, so you and your 40 friends can hang out on one couch or something. And you see these people who have houses that are just full of stuff. Nothing interesting. Just stuff. Like, I have 2 of these very expensive couches, and I'm like, okay. I have a home theater. Well, okay, I can't hate on that. I technically have a home theater, but I'm also in the film business. The thing is that there was a certain wild era. I want to say it started kind of in the 70s and 80s with hi-fi stores. But it certainly came into its own territory by the 90s with the rise of, you know, like Circuit City and Best Buy and all that other stuff, of the home theater. And the home theater is a concept that, when done correctly, is quite literally that. But when done poorly, by so many people with unhealthy ambition, it becomes this monstrosity of building code violations and noise. It's not a bad design for a battleship. Certainly limited, but... yeah, it's got a main belt of 16 inches. He's definitely done the armor game. Alright, we're all gonna deploy Smonk and he's gonna disappear, hopefully. Oh, stop ramming your friends. Alright, let's all get out of here. We'll slowly pull away. Their battleship is just... he's out. He's not interested in getting set on fire again. And we'll slowly limp back to port. Oh wow, he can still see us. Is he coming back? Yeah, he is. Alright, about face and Adam. I'm gonna have the wounded ones slow roll toward him, and I'm gonna have the unwounded one go up and ram this fucker. This guy wants to come back. Okay. Oh wow, he hit him dead on. Now he's sinking. I don't know what he's thinking about. Probably the bottom of the ocean. That being said, these little guys did pretty good damage. Not enough to cripple it, but enough to put it in for repairs for a long while. Oh, he got me. Alright, so that gives me some unrest. Because they're like, hey, you're not supposed to lose. And I'm like, I know. And they're like, well, I mean, just wanted to let you know that that upsets people at home. And you're just like, God damn it, I am trying so hard right now. Alright, so a lot of my guys are at sea repairing. Slightly over shipyard capacity, slightly. But what we're going to do is we're going to invade the southern bit of Japan. We're just going to invade it. We're going to have a little bit for ourselves. We're just going to have southern Hokkaido. We're going to take that, and then we will start trying to take Honshu away from them. Once we've got bits of Honshu, I mean, I don't even really have to worry so much, because most of their coaling ports and everything just will fade away. And I've effectively neutralized them. If I can take a few more of their ports, they're never going to have the naval building capacity or repair capacity that any of the other nations will over the next 20 years. So they're just going to be a third-rate power forever, unless they get really lucky. Okay, so here's that fight that we knew was coming. Because the Russian army is trying to advance on land. Oh, this is where we're going to get in trouble. And we have to fight the whole American Navy. It looks like it's coming up. A lot of heavy cruisers, a lot of battleships. And they're going to fight our old relic battleships that we kept in Maine. In Imperial Russian Maine. All right. 6 battleships versus 5 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, 4 light cruisers, and 4 destroyers. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it because we have to. These are the old men of the fleet. I mean, I've got 14-inch guns on them now, and 5-inch guns for secondaries. These things are modernized. I think I'll do all right. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, and they can do 29 knots now. Isn't that wonderful? Well, they've got accurate gunnery. I will give them that. Oh, one of his big boys is flashing up. And we are taking a pounding. The American fleet is no joke. Okay, Ivan the OK just went down. The American battleships are monsters. What is this gun layout? It's working. I'm trying to get past them with our massive speed. But they have just built a monstrous fleet. And these are just whittle guy ships. But still. What isn't on fire? Yeah, each of his cruisers is the size of my battleships. One of my guys just surrendered. That's not so good. Probably because he was set on fire a million times. Oh boy. This is a bad day for my Navy. The old men are getting retired. American ships are quite well made. The ships are blazing infernos. Good lord. Live by the picric acid, die by the picric acid. Gentlemen, please. I have a family. Yeah, the American fleet came to town to do some business, and they weren't impressed by anything I could do. Oh, that is painful. We are sad now. We may lose Maine. But it's okay. This will give me an excuse to squeeze more money out of the government, or they'll have a revolution and I lose. We'll see. No, we fight to the end. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to auto-resolve that one. One Japanese battleship. No, no, you can't have that. We have to defeat each other. It is the way. Alright, I'm going to send my new battleships across the Atlantic to fight America. Because, yeah, the Russian army is not going to make that happen. No. I don't think so. But, we can finally go to our Ivan the OK class and retire that one. That one did not do so well. The Whittle guy, I'm tempted to see how this thing works out. This one is evil. And potentially great, but mostly evil. My unrest is 83.6. Alright. +1 unrest. No, fight to the end. I need to get my unrest down. I need to destroy this Japanese battleship. I need a propaganda coup. My unrest is at scary high. And I need to make that 0. It must be very, very 0. Losing 6 battleships in a day caused the government to lose its mind. Come on, Poltava. Let's be lucky. Ooh, good hits. Those are some good hits. What kind of battleship is this? ABXY, huh? The turrets? Well, I don't think that's gonna work. Let us slow down to 22 knots. There we go. Now everything accurately falls into them. He's having a bad day. And he's done. Good for me. That'll help the unrest a little bit. Then I need to try to fight the Americans, or get them to agree to just some sort of reasonable peace. I don't know. Call it a draw. Do some propaganda, win stuff. I don't know. I'm not their dad. So one of my default responses is someone asks me, like, should I? I'm not your dad. I'll give you a reasonable piece of advice, and I'll say whether or not that seems stupid in the moment. And typically, I just invite people to think on what they're going to do for another 48 hours. I just usually am like, hey, maybe another 48 hours of thinking. And it typically works out. Sometimes it don't. But sometimes I think people just really do get into the analysis paralysis, and I think that is kind of a modern issue. Where there's so much information and so much input that all your brain can do is try to explain that the world is going off at the hinges. And soon it becomes so overwhelming that you start to sweat the small decisions. What to have for breakfast. That's why a lot of people have been doing this digital hermitage stuff. Less social media. Less places to be on the network. Places to be in that private cubic centimeter or two in your brain. The happy place. Alright, so my new battleships are here against their whole fleet again. If I lose this, I lose the war. Alright, let's see what we can do, boys. Damn, they're accurate. Ooh, that's a lot of good hits. Flash fire. Don't get caught up in the flash fire. Must destroy enemy battleships. I think I may just, yeah, there's another one going down. Oh yeah. Go Fat Leonards. Oh boy. I'm now in Torpedo Town. Not so great. At least there's no fairy swordfish about. That would be the very bad. Alright, we're now sailing through Torpedo Land, home of the all-you-can-have torpedo. Lots of torpedo hits. Lots. That is amazing. So America has a fairly modern navy. Good to know. That being said, we are doing lots of damage to their navy. You may take down one of my battleships. If he takes down both, I think I've lost. However, this guy still has full engine power, and he's going to use it. Because now this is a game of gunnery. And while you got lucky, I can get even. Now each of those heavy cruisers carries a boatload of guys. Yeah, 631. Each of his light cruisers carries 300 dudes. So I need to offset the manpower loss in my own navy. There we go. I'm just going to maintain speed. Stay away from them. And now I'm going to turn in. Because it'd be like, oh no. And I'd be like, oh yeah. 12 kilometers. 22 knots. So I can catch these guys. Pending any more major incidents. Yep. Rate of hit keeps going up. Looks like I'm starting to get hits. Alright, we're going for it. And turn in. And you missed. And I'm going to turn again. And you missed. Alright, so I'm down one battleship. They're down quite a few other ships. I have to see how this balances out. Because I need my war. And I'm just gonna leave. He tried to tort me and I'm like, no thanks. And now I'm just gonna slowly cruise away as I shell them. Excellent. I can hope to start putting some of these ships back in their shipyards. And out of my Navy's way for a while. Till I can figure something out. I'm going to need an austerity destroyer, though. That much appears clear. Something I can build domestically. Ah, fire and flooding. I've got the power on them, so his light cruisers have fucked off all the way over there. They don't want to play this game. They're not high enough to ride. Alright, it's flooding out bad. I might be able to bully these other two cruisers and get even. Because right now we're in a race of shipyards. And this is pretty much the roaring 20s. So I'm pretty sure America's got a big leg up. Uh-oh. Alright, that guy's done. Now it's going to be some close range ship to ship. But I'm going to turn. Because he might just try to tort me. So I'm going to try to be out of his way. There we go. Have some secondaries. I insist. Yeah, America built some pretty good ships. And they have a lot of them. I am relatively low on battleships now. Especially good ones. These are good enough. I'm going to need to accelerate my battleship design plans, though. I'm already running into issues with peer navies. It's a net defeat for me. They get more victory points. Because they destroyed a more advanced battleship, I guess. That pisses me off. But I understand. Not all navies are fair. And if I fail, it's okay. Unrest is at 100. At least we're not in open revolt. We probably will be quickly. Yeah. So they're in the population is rebellious. No shit. 100 is very high. I think guns would be walking off assembly lines by now. This invasion fails, or I take one more really bad battle, Oh my god. Yeah, this is the end times. There's my one battleship, which has some damage. And I'm telling him to just stick it in. Get in there. No time like the present. I'm going to take my other 2 battleships and we're going to just go over here and bully America. That's what we have to do. Please, ground forces, help us. Please. Or give me an event where I can spend a ridiculous amount of money to achieve temporary happiness. Doesn't have to be a lot. 10 points at a time. Say $1 billion a point. This is gonna end in tears. My government's been overthrown because, the people trust me because of naval prestige. So I get to keep my job, but it's now Soviet Union. All the Romanovs are dead. I lose. Damn! And we're just getting to somewhere interesting. Oh well, next time around, Spain.